Hey, Warren Grovetown students, hope you're having a great day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever happens to be, day it is of quarantine, whatever, right? I wanted to bring you a message this morning, a quick devotion on Paul. Now, I know we've looked at a lot of different biblical characters, and we're going to continue to do that throughout these next week or so. But for me, one of the most important biblical characters outside that of Jesus Christ is Paul. And here's why. Paul brought us the majority of the New Testament. The Holy Spirit, through Paul, wrote a lot of the words that we can open up our scriptures and read. And Paul was a guy too that he didn't just write the words, he walked the talk. Not just talk the talk, but he walked the talk as well. And when he first came on the scene, his name wasn't even Paul, it was actually Saul. And God changed his name, he changed his life from someone who went around essentially killing Christians, persecuting Christians, to someone who would follow after God, who would write a lot of the New Testament, who would write letters to people all over to encourage and to challenge and to do amazing things. And we still today, thousands of years later, are following after some of the words that Paul wrote. But they weren't just Paul's writings, right? They were the Holy Spirit through him. I want to read you two passages that come out of one of the letters that he wrote to a group called the Philippians. Basically, it was the church at Philippi. And here's what he wrote in Philippians 2:14. He says, "Do everything without complaining or arguing." Man, that verse has really hit me hard the past few weeks, but also I look back on my life when things were normal, right? When we weren't quarantined at home, but there was things in my life that I complained about. There's probably things in your life that you complained about. You probably complained about going to school. You probably complained about having homework. You complained about having to go to ball practice or go to band practice or go to all these different types of things. But now I find myself, and you probably do too, longing for those days again. Longing for the fact that if I told you you could go to school tomorrow, most of you 3 months ago, you'd have said, no, I want a day off. But tomorrow, if things were like they could be, and you could go to school, you would say, absolutely, I'd go to school. So we need to not complain. I need to not complain. But here's what's cool. In Philippians, just a page later, we're actually 2 chapters later, but he's writing this letter, and in chapter 4, verse 6, he says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God." Man, that's another just challenge and encouragement for us today, is don't be anxious about things. I know there's times in my life, even now, that I'm anxious and I worry about things. And this says, don't be anxious about anything, but listen, but in everything that you do, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, have gratitude, make sure you're thankful, make sure you're grateful to God, present those requests to God. So we can take those words from Paul today. I hope that encourages you, hope that challenges you. Don't complain. Don't have a spirit of complaining and arguing, but have one that is not worrisome, not anxious as well, but someone that is grateful and that makes your request known unto God. Because guess what? God listens to you, he hears you, and he wants to be a part of your life. I look forward to seeing you again soon. God bless.